All right, first step to get to the front brakes, we're obviously going to need to remove our wheel. Mine are aftermarket and they have aftermarket lug nuts, so obviously I won't be able to tell you what yours needs. Rotate our wheel so we have better access to the caliper. Man, these things are big. What are these, 17s? Yep, 17s. Good Lord, those should not be on that tight. Remove our old hardware. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove our caliper mounting bracket, held on with two 18mm bolts. I'm going to get myself an extension. Alright, and to remove our rotors, we're going to need to remove these little bolts in here. There you are. And I'm going to be utilizing our slap screwdriver. And this is a little tool you can pick up for like 10 or 15 bucks. And what you do is you grab it, you rotate in the loosen position, and then you slap it with a hammer. Thank you. You can try to just get this off with a wrench, but a lot of the times these will break off, and then you have a whole battle of drilling these out or doing other crazy methods to get the rotor off. So I say, save yourself the headache and just get you the right tool for the job. Alright, and now that we're at this point, we're going to go ahead and put our top bolts in for the caliper mounting bracket and the caliper, just to hold everything up here. And this is our painting area. So if you want to, you can go ahead and get yourself some paper. Now if you just want to make sure you got areas on here you absolutely don't want any paint. Stuff like that. I mean, you can go more detailed if you really want to. Me personally, I just want the bulk of it to be missed, and that way I still have plenty of room to get in here and get this caliper. Now, another trick that I like to do before painting, get your caliper mounting bolt for the lower one, pull this out and slide that bolt in. So you see how that holds the caliper out a little bit more, and that makes getting in here with your spray paint a lot easier. And go ahead and hit it up with your brake parts cleaner. Get yourself an old toothbrush or a wire brush and scrape some of this old stuff off. I already hit this one pretty thoroughly, and it doesn't need to be perfect. Like I said, this is just a quick how to paint your brake calipers video. This is not like a professional, you know, take your caliper off, dip it in acid, stuff like that. So this is just a quick video on how to do this next process. All right, we got our brand new can of spray paint. Go ahead and do some practice sprays. And you want to leave this out in the sun for about 15 minutes like I just did. Not too hot, but you know, just kind of get it so it's, you don't want it cold. Make sure our little nozzle is straight. All right, and there's our first coat. As you saw, I kind of just put that on there as lightly as I could while still giving it a full coat. Go ahead and let that cure for about 10-15 minutes, and we'll put down our next coat. All right. Our next coat, I'm gonna go a little bit heavier. Make sure to get into all those little crevices, especially any of the parts that you'll see when you're looking down on it. That'll more than likely be how your vehicle's looked at. Unless you're flipped over in a ditch or something, so hopefully you don't have to deal with that. Our second coat. Go ahead and let that sit and cure for another 10-15 minutes, and we'll be back to do the final third coat. And as we're getting ready for our third coat, I realized that the caliper was closed too close onto the caliper bracket right here, so almost no paint was getting on these two areas or in the back right here on the back of the caliper. So I went ahead and I started the bolt into the caliper bracket and just rested the caliper on that bolt. Basically the same thing that I did right here. I'm just resting the caliper bracket onto the bolt that goes through the steering knuckle, just to kind of space them all out and give me enough room to get my paint in there. All right, third coat. Go ahead and give a little extra love to this area right here. And this one you want to do another medium wet coat. That's our third and final coat. Definitely looking a little bit more violet, but I guess we'll see what it looks like in the sunlight, because this is what it's supposed to look like, and that does not look like that, but we'll see. Let me get a flashlight on there real quick. Oh man, it's a little better, I guess. Not the color I was expecting, but it'll work.